Welcome to the deleted scenes. Let me get changed and tell you what happened. This is the story of my 13th run. By far my worst out of 23. You ever have an unintentional happy accident? I'm wearing the same clothes that I wore in the run I'm about to tell you about. So, and it's been like 3 weeks. So, for the month of July, I started a challenge of running, 200 kilometers in 31 days, which means that I was supposed to run 6.45 kilometers each day to make it to 200 kilometers at the end of the month. But I don't like running. Running sucks to me. I just wanted to complete the challenge, so that meant if I didn't want to run every day, that I would have to run more kilometers each day in order to run less days. And in doing so, I accidentally injured my knee. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to push it over the edge, but the cause of my knee injury was that a few things probably, but my hips were misaligned. And my hips being misaligned, however they were, caused my knee to take too much of the impact. On top of that, I had poor running technique, and I didn't stretch, and I didn't drink enough water. So, bad combination. Also, you might argue that I wore the wrong shoes. To me, that's debatable, but doesn't matter. The point is, my knee was damaged. So, to help my knee cope with running, so that I wouldn't have to quit running, I ran with crutches. So, basically, I just went as fast as I could with crutches under my arms, looking like a complete idiot, cruising with crutches. This particular run that I'm about to tell you about was the first day that I tried to run without crutches, but I brought them with me just in case. So I started off running normal. I was in the city. In the city, there's a lot of concrete and pavement. I try my best to run on the grass, so I would always run in the medians or just on the side of the sidewalk or wherever as best as I could. I decided to run where I had never run before in the city, and the reason why I was running in the city instead of like around me in my own surroundings is because I wanted to keep it interesting, because to me running is super boring. So I go out to the city, find a route that I just pave before me. I just go wherever, and then I make my way back when I feel like I've gone far enough. In this particular case, I started off in a city, really close to, actually right in front of one of my past clients and now friend's house. I parked there because I knew that I would be able to get back there. I start running, crutches by my side. And at this point, I didn't really film anything because I didn't know what was about to happen was going to happen. But as I was running, I recognized that the river valley was really nearby. So I ran towards the river valley. And the river valley, if you're not local to me, I'm sure there's other cities that have similar things. It's like a trail system that goes along the river, and it goes throughout the whole entire city and reaches the outer suburbs of Edmonton, where I live close by. And a lot of these places have hidden entrances, and one of these entrances happened to be where I was running. Since I was trying to run on the grass and not on the road, I ran by one, and I happened to notice it. So I went down there, and that's where I started to film, because I was actually taking a picture for the app that was tracking my progress. And to take a picture, it's kind of frustratingly difficult. So I just take a short clip of me running, and then I come back for the camera, I stop the camera, and then I just take a screen grab and then post that onto my running app as my photo of the day. So that's why I started filming this run. I figured that the scenery in the trails was better than taking a picture of me running beside a bunch of concrete. And sometimes I did have to take a picture of me running in the concrete because there was nothing interesting nearby that I was running in. And I wasn't going to go out of my way to do that because I was already going out of my way to take the freaking picture. Because the picture is not necessary for the app to record what you've done for the day. But anyways, I wanted to go in the river valley, but I kind of misjudged the conditions. So not only am I wearing Converse shoes, it's a very flat-soled shoe and doesn't have any grip, but it's, to make things worse, is it's completely muddy. I'm slipping all over the place, and as I slip, my knee kind of gets these little jolts, and when it has the jolts, obviously that's pain, and I want there to be no pain because I don't want any permanent damage. But I want to complete the challenge, so therefore I have the crutches. But I'm in the forest, and sometimes it's hard to run with the crutches in the forest. But for some reason, I kept going further into the river valley. And then I come across this sign that says, "Trail closed due to slumping." And normally when you see those types of signs, they're kind of there as a precaution to people who don't normally go off the beaten path or don't necessarily even get off the pavement. They think that walking to the mailbox is exercise. So I ignored it and I went down that trail. What I was doing when I could was running on the crutches to give my knee a break. A lot of it I was running without crutches, and in this trail it just kind of became impossible because the trees were so closed in. This trail hadn't been used much at all in the last little while. I went as fast as I could down this trail. I wasn't limping at this point, so running was actually pretty easy, and the roots that stuck out kind of jostled my leg a little bit when I would bump it, but I was doing pretty good. So I was running as fast as I could, and then I also had a camera in my hand, crutches in the other hand, and I'm trying to get through there, trying to get some interesting shots. And at this point, I'm just shooting just in case. Oftentimes, I will have my phone out where I'll just have it ready to record just in case something happens. And I'm in the river valley, so I might get a beauty shot for B-roll or something. Anyways. But then I started to come across the actual slumping that they labeled this trail. And yeah, it sucked. The river is unusually high this year because of all the rain we've gotten. Last year was kind of similar, lots of rain last year. And so the trail is almost completely washed out in places. Other places just so muddy that it's hard to walk in, let alone run, especially in the shoes that I'm wearing. And then I had the great idea to film this, so I had to do these little areas twice. One time to set up the camera, walk all the way back on a bum knee, and then go again to actually do the run. And all this time, my app doesn't know that I'm stopping to set up shots, so it's affecting my time quite badly. But it wasn't that bad. As I kept going...
Oh... Yeah, screw that. Let's get back on the road. Are you kidding me? Why'd I take the trails? Okay. This is gonna totally affect my time so negatively. It's very wet in here. Came across somebody's old camp. Okay, I am totally lost. Okay, let's keep going.
So my time is being affected by two things: the actual route and my time to take that I stopped to take certain shots, which at this point didn't really matter because I was so lost. I was going around in circles.
So I guess the reason why there's caution tape is because this leads to nowhere. There's nowhere if you want to go right, and there's nowhere if you want to go left. Okay, let's go back down. Take this long ass trail back to civilization, hopefully. Man, this is slow. Pro tip: do not go for a run in trails if you don't know where you're going and you have a bum knee and need crutches to run, just so that you can prove to yourself and maybe others that once you commit to a challenge, that you will complete that challenge. Okay, let's get it on. Of course this would happen. And I almost pressed stop on the recording there. I don't even know how many kilometers I've gone so far. Maybe like 5 or 6. Okay, that was bound to happen. Surprised it didn't happen earlier. Okay, it's very wet in here. It's been raining for days. I guess this is why they said the trail is washed out.
And then for a short time, I think things are improving. The trail seems to be going good until I come to a spot where the trail had completely fallen into the river. There was nothing there except for a steep, slippery hill that I tried to gracefully climb down, but I more so slid down, barely staying on my feet. Actually tweaked my knee real quick when I got to the bottom, and as I kept going, I had to go on the crutches, but it didn't really help because...
Okay, it just came from over there. I know it doesn't look like a path. I don't think it is one. Made it up to here, and I'm gonna see if I can go up there, and hopefully that's not somebody's backyard, or if it is, hopefully I can sneak through. This is gonna be the worst time for my runs yet. A little worse for him. Okay.
You might be asking, why didn't I just turn around when I was at the stairs and go back? Why did I just keep going further on down the trail if I was already having a hard time? It's because when I'm running, I can see where I've already run on the map when I'm done because it's a GPS. And I don't like it when my path overlaps itself. I like it when it's just more or less just a circle that's been crumpled up but doesn't actually touch itself. So I kept pushing on, and then I had to climb this stupid cliff.
Okay, threw the crutches up there. Now, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna come back for the camera, so I'm not shooting footage of me getting up there, because I'm just gonna have to come back down, get the camera, then climb back up a second time. And my knee is kind of starting to hurt. So wish me luck. Although you're watching this in the future and I've either succeeded or this footage doesn't exist online. Okay. Oh, look at that. Only one crutch is on there. I grabbed onto this branch and the other crutch fell all the way down there. Perfect. I don't know if you can tell how steep this is, but it's pretty freaking steep. There better not be a mudslide.
I'm sure if it had been raining harder, it would have been even worse. Or if the rain had come from the other direction, there's no way I probably would have made it up there. It was so hard to get up there, but I needed to. I'm like grabbing onto branches and I'm like punching holes into the side of the cliff so that I can like grab onto something. I'm trying to find roots that are just like I did find roots, but I would just pull them straight out. I couldn't, like, they couldn't hold my weight, and it's very hard to see in that clip, but like it is very steep. Like I'm like mountain goating it. I'm barely. There's nothing to put your feet on except for the ground that you're stepping on is somehow creating a step because it's super sandy and like, yeah, it wasn't good. But eventually,
okay, I made it. I wish I had a camera crew following me because that was kind of cool. Okay.
Now, that happened all the time. I would just keep falling because I was going at such an incline, and the very little tread that was on my shoes was caked in mud, so it was like slipperiness on slipperiness. I'd be running or walking or trying to climb, and then I would suddenly fall. It was terrible, but I had to press on.
Okay, we're somewhat on a trail again. Not really running pace type trail, and obviously it hasn't been used in a long time. I just want to get up to the road. Oh shit. Okay. Are you kidding me? This is that freaking camp I was just in. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go back the way I came and give up trying to find a way going south. Gonna go back north now. Oh.
Guys, you don't know how frustrated I was. All that work for nothing. Trying not to overlap my route, and then here I was. No matter what I tried to do in terms of making progress, two overlaps in one run. At this point, I gave up. I'm like, I'm just gonna run in a direction. This 1 kilometer took 37 minutes. But at least I knew where I was again.
Okay, well, as you can tell, my camera is broken, at least the lens. But some good news is we're back at the stairs again. So let's head down here. I've given up trying to make up any time on this run. I'm already slowing up. I'm running like 940s and 1010s per kilometer or whatever. That's terrible. I'm not sure what I would do crutchless or like bum knee-less, but it would be better than that, maybe 7 or so. Since I'm not a runner, that seems reasonable.
My goal was never to necessarily get good at running or have good times, but my best time that I did run, I mentioned in the main vlog, was 6:15 for a kilometer, which is like a 9-minute 2-second mile as an average pace. So over, say 8 kilometers, I believe it was. So that's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not bad at all. But I wasn't really focusing on that at this point.
Okay, I'm back on the beaten path, and I came from over there initially, and I remember passing this thinking, that doesn't go to the road, but this is way more worn than the trails were over there, so what do I have to lose? May as well give it a shot. Oh yeah, okay, now there's a fork. This is so hard to choose because I have no idea. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it started to rain. But if you look at me, I'm not worried about being wet. Mosquito right behind the ear. Little bastard. Okay, we'll try this way first, because at this point, I'll just do it for the story. Okay. Oh, nice. This is a pretty good trail. Nice. Someone uses it. It's a lawn chair. Oh, it's slippery. No, not again. Saved by the tree. Okay.
Grabbing onto trees to stop myself from like falling back happened so much. There was so much water coming down this hill, it created kind of like a slurry. So I had to grab on trees like every few minutes. I had already backtracked so far to get to this trail. I only wanted to go forward, so I'm glad there was trees there. I was having such a terrible time. But I found something to remember the run by.
This is by far the worst run I've ever gone. We're gonna take a souvenir. This is a range ball. That means we might be close to a golf course, which means, oh no, which means there's civilization just over this hill, possibly. Oh, I found a lunch kit. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's go.
I had no idea where I was. I was slipping all over the place. I was frustrated, but I knew that there was probably a golf course right over this hill, and so I was close to being able to run on not literal dry land, but like easy running flat land back to my truck. So I just went for it. I was going as fast as I could. It probably doesn't look like it, but I was going pretty quick. And my knee was starting to bother me, so I had to like kind of be careful, but I was very heavy footed, just trying to like slam my feet into the ground so that I wouldn't slip down. And then finally, I kind of see some light up ahead. I get excited, and then I burst through the trees.
Yes! Woo! That ain't even an entrance into a trail. Oh, I actually know this neighborhood. I made a house just down here. I'll show it to you. This will run. There it is. I can see it. It's right in view. Wherever that kid was pointing, that's the house I made. Sorry, let me be more accurate with my statement. I didn't make the whole house. I just boarded it. Or sorry, I didn't even board it. I just taped it. That's when I first started taping. And the guy who used to own my house, he was my boss the time that we did this. I don't know if you can tell, but that house is 22,000 square feet. Of course, you can't see the whole thing. You can only see the front of it, but it's crazy. It took forever to do that. It took a whole month. Level 5, hand taping. God. And that was 8 years ago. You can see they didn't even finish the step yet. Okay. Okay, let's go home. Get to the truck.
So I'm not a runner. I don't like running. It's not my thing. I don't like it even more running on crutches, but I wanted to complete the 200 kilometer challenge, and this is a way that I figured I would be able to do that. But I look like a complete idiot. I'm deciding to run the rest of my way, or most of the way anyways, on the crutches. But I'm not the only one outside running.
See that guy running back there? I was just hauling ass past him with my crutches. My knee is bothering me a little bit, so I'm using the crutches. But anyways, he looks at me like I'm the weirdest dude. If only he knew. If only he knew. Some people might think that crutches makes it easier to run. That is certainly not true. I can run way faster and way further without them. Takes let me see if I can show you this. Huge blisters on the hands, blisters on the wrists, blisters under the armpits, especially when it's wet, but sweat is wet. All sorts of things like that. Makes your shoulders hurt and your arms hurt. If anything, it's harder and more impressive. So I don't know what that guy was looking at me like that for. I wish I would have got it on camera. That would have been hilarious. Okay, let's go. Almost at the truck. I think I'm about 2 kilometers away. I've run 7 now. Made it a little bit further, and I realized this house, I also did stuff for them. I really like that retaining wall there. That's nice. I wasn't there when I worked on their house. Might use that as inspiration for my own property. Switching back and forth between jogging with and without the crutches. I don't want my knee to go backwards. Progress in healing. There's the truck. The end is in sight. Okay, made it. 10.5 kilometers with like a 12:30 pace. Terrible, but we're at the end.
Now remember, if you recall from the regular vlog, the day before this run, I stepped on a nail that went right into my heel. It was painful. And even if that didn't happen, and even if every run went good, this was not worth it. And I'm not doing it again. I don't think. Thanks for watching.